concerned about CERN? CERN's largest city-sized hadron collider was supposed to launch us into a whole different universe on Tuesday. Well, thank God that didn't happen. Or did it? Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. Today, we are going to have a live mind-opening, like you've never believed, discussion on what is really going on over there and how it could be affecting us today. Also, if you have any concerns about this whatsoever, don't worry, I do have the answer for you at the end. But first, let's make this a win-win and subscribe so that you won't miss any more mind-opening discussions that we have here. Like, so that we could keep putting out this mind-expanding content for you, and share so that you could help expand someone else's mind. So, yes, this week, CERN's Large Hadron Collider, which is the size of a city, launched again, okay? Tommy, as you know, I went to a friend's house. I'm gonna let you guys know a few things so that as I'm speaking, you can start relating it to your life and your mind is going to be blown as to what could have happened there. So I went to a friend's house and she actually enlightened me on the events of Tuesday. And what happened was she told me how people were thinking it was supposed to put us into a whole different universe. So of course, my initial instinct and thought in my head was, well, obviously, and thank God that didn't happen, right? But being the minds we are, I didn't say that out loud. It's just an initial thought. The more you meditate, the more you realize your thoughts. And then I thought, well, how do we know it didn't happen? You know, I said to her, if we were all to go into a different universe, you know, what if the universe you went into came with the set of memories that that universe has? So how would we know, right? Well, between friends and clients, I've noticed something in the collective lately, okay? A few weeks ago, I regrieved my mom's death as if it was the first time. Literally could not stop crying for an entire day. That happened over 27 years ago. One of my clients was literally regrieving her brother's death that happened 7 years ago around the same time. Now, a couple weeks later, which is when this Hadron Collider was supposed to take off, I had several clients and friends come to me about exes coming to them in their dreams. Well, around that same time, before they even told me this, I had my actual ex-husband, you know, I almost wondered if he passed on or something, because for some reason, our song kept coming up. Also, my twin flame was coming through. I think nothing of that. I consider myself a retired twin flame. That's a whole other story. But I thought when people come through like that, either they passed on and they're trying to connect with you, or they're thinking of you a lot. There is absolutely no reason for my ex-husband to be thinking of me. I know for a fact that man is not thinking of me. Well, before my friend even told me of the Hadron Collider incident and what the conspiracy is about that, she actually started looking up if my ex-husband had passed. And she showed me the house that he lives in inside. And because she's hilarious like that. And I couldn't help but look, and he had the exact stencils on the wall, like a fleur-de-lis that I have. So I actually bought a fleur-de-lis, same exact size, same exact pattern stencil to paint all over my walls prior to moving. And I thought, that's weird. You know, prior to hearing any of this Hadron Collider stuff, between all the clients coming to me about exes coming through, between what I was experiencing myself with things coming through, I honestly thought maybe time doesn't work linearly the way we think, and it's sort of looped around. And now we're lining up with that time frame that we were all sort of around each other. However, that doesn't match up for them. So after she told me that we were supposed to go into a different universe, and she actually had been experiencing somebody that was in her mind a lot, who she has been not having feelings for years. And most of my clients and friends have the same experience. I said, you know, what if? I said, you know, that event was supposed to happen Tuesday. I woke up really tired on Wednesday. If any of you woke up really tired on Wednesday, please leave in the comments. Also, any experiences you're having relating to this, please leave in the comments. And I remember feeling Wednesday, as tired as I was, wow, this week is really going by really super fast, which is the rarest thing for me to feel and think on a Wednesday. I don't really ever feel that way anymore until it starts to become Thursday, Friday. Then I'm like in weekend mode and I'm excited. Okay. Other than that, I am never feeling on a Tuesday or Wednesday that this week is going by fast. So that was weird. So I said to my friend, I said, what if we were in a universe prior where I was still married to him or with my twin flame, and you were still with that person, and my clients were still with those people, and you know, and then we literally just got jolted into a different one and woke up in it with all these different memories, because there's a lot of weird things happening. Now, if that were to happen to any of us ever, you think they would tell us, or would they even know? So what was even more mind-blowing, but I want you to comment before I move on, but guys, my next part of this is gonna blow your mind beyond what maybe is already happening. But please weigh in, Tommy, if you have any thoughts, or do you want me to keep going?
Honestly, like, yeah, it makes sense, but like I would think scientists would be like, something's up. Everything's going to the left now. It's like, didn't everything go to the right? Where's where's Bill? What happened to Bill?
Yeah, so that what you're describing is actually considered a Mandela effect, which basically means that people are now noticing the reality shifts. They're now noticing the universe changes. That is because I feel we're becoming more and more evolved spiritually and in depth and starting to awaken. So even in this podcast right now, do I think any of this is true? I'm not sure. However, I'm smart enough to not rule it out, because I am very aware that back in the Stone Ages, we were thinking in a very flat line, linear way. And now we're evolving to the point where, as crazy as our theories sound, we are poking our heads above the water and looking around. And guys, you have to stay tuned for our next podcast where I ask, is reality real? And we have a lot of evidence actually saying no. And that is another mind-blowing podcast. So yeah, I mean, we're just discovering more and more and more. It's actually more chances by zillions than not that parallel universes and multiverse does exist. All possibilities do exist. It's more chances than not that we're in a simulated universe. And I'm kind of here to talk about both sides and to open your minds a little. It doesn't mean we have to buy into any of this. In fact, at the end, I'm going to have this all work for you, so you won't have any anxiety about anything if that's at all popping up. But it's just good to kind of put our, heads around, look around and look at all our options in case it does actually help anybody. But yes, so since being at my friend's house, I thought, interesting, maybe this happened, maybe. And she said there were 2 other times that this collider was fired up and that it was known to put us into a whole different universe and dimension. She mentioned one of the times, now she couldn't figure out the dates, but it right away in my head, I thought, if I had to guess 2 other years in which we were jolted into a different universe, it would be 2008 and 2012. So eventually she did think, without me saying anything, that the second time was 2012, which to me is very believable. And I'll get to that in a second. And I thought I said the first one's not 2008, right? And she said, no, I don't think so. So today I did my research. It was 2008. My mind was blown beyond comprehension. I can't get into detail on this particular podcast due to the time allotted, what my 2008 looked like, but collectively, I think we can agree 2008 was fucking crazy for everybody, to the point where it's been a recurring question for me since 2008 to literally ask people, what the happened in 2008? Okay, yeah, we can look at the symptoms, which was, economic decline, financial this, financial that, but look at the amount of celebrities that went crazy. Okay. And those are just people we happen to know from the public eye. Think about what happened to people we don't know. I mean, this was insane. My life took such a turn in 2008 that set the trajectory for the rest of my life, that if I told you, it would be the most mind-blowing movie you've ever seen, and you would think it was fiction. Okay, like literally my awakening happened in 2008. I can't get into too much detail. And then I met a twin flame, my twin flame, which of course blew me out of the water a little too much. And all sorts of crazy things happened that were proven true later, where I had abilities that I believe we all could access if we really wanted to, but these came upon me very drastically. And I didn't really care. I was more going through the throes of what is known as a twin flame union, which is horrendous. I was on one trajectory of a reality where I was on top of the world and literally woke up on the ground in a whole different reality at one point. And yes, it crossed my mind. And this is before I knew anything. It crossed my sane mind. Am I in the same universe? Okay. So now the date that this happened in 2008 with the Hadron Collider was actually September 10th of 2008, which also leads me to believe that this Hadron Collider, if it does affect our universes, also has a retrograde effect, because it started happening with me and everybody else collectively way before September of that year, way before it. And it kind of amped up to that moment. So that brings me to present day, where supposedly this collider started up again on Tuesday. But things started happening, I noticed collectively with people a few weeks prior, if not more, if I were to really take notes. Or they're not being honest with when they start this thing, and it's actually earlier than they're saying, which also could be happening. But yes, 2008 for me was a great awakening. It was a shift for everybody here collectively. My next layer of awakening was actually 2012. Thank God it was much more gentle with me. But I remember when I was sleeping through New Year's, and I was by myself sleeping through New Year's, and I felt a frequency wave literally go like this, like across me, like, and throughout the whole planet, to be honest, right when it hit 12 into that new year, of either starting 2012 or going to 2013. I can't remember. Sorry, I need to silence my phone. In this universe, if we did switch over, this universe, if we did switch over, also has changed my hair. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I used to wear a messy bun, and the minute I took it down, it just felt amazingly. Not in this universe. Having a little problem with that. But yeah, either way, I'm going to get into, if anyone has any anxiety about this, I am going to calm you completely down in a second. I just want to let Tommy weigh in real quick. How you doing, Tommy?
Well, to be honest, I don't remember my 2008 and 2012.
You are very lucky.
Yeah, I just kind of roll out of bed and be like, nah, everything's fine. Flying turtles, whatever.
And that's how normally people are. So I'm glad you're on this channel for that perspective, because to be honest, that is what is awakening right now, is what is considered sheeple, but really anybody normal, where nobody would notice. Nobody would notice that if you look at my hair, you went from this universe to this universe, completely different, but you just wouldn't notice because you would think it's always been like this, or it's always been like this. The world.
As for the Hadron Collider, they said it's going to be shot up for the third time, put up to the third, but then they also said that they've been using it consistently over the last few years, and they've gotten like discovered like 50 new particles. So I don't understand why they're saying like they're starting it up for the third time. It's like, and then this other article is saying that they've been using it, but it's not to full power. Full power is the third time, but it's been working consistently for the last whatever amount of years it's been around.
That's interesting. Yeah, according to what I saw is that they did it in 2008 and then shut it down again 2012 and then shut it down again in 2013 and now starting it back up again last Tuesday, which is why everybody was like, oh, and so I'm like, every 4 years you're effing up our lives, or but
I mean, the thing cost $4.6 billion to make. So
the size of a city underground.
Yeah, of course.
They
have to make it underground.
It is. I'm all for finding new things out and learning. So I don't know where I stand on this. I don't know enough about it to stand anywhere. So, but I am about always being inquisitive, always learning. I don't know. I think there's more to this. I think there's more. I don't think they're saying everything. There's just too much that could possibly happen or did happen. So there's too many chances. And I don't think they would say anything. And maybe, do they know? If they do, I don't think they'd say anything, because then who's going to fund it? They'd be maybe too scared. In fact, the smartest kid, I don't know if you heard about this, the smartest kid, I got to find his name again, literally said that this caused the Mandela effect starting in 2012, which obviously, if that's the case, would have retrograded, but that this caused it. And he goes into a very long scientific explanation prior to that. I'm going to look up his name really quickly. I have his name. It's Max Logan. And everybody listen to this. Trying to see how to restart this.
And are you
because of the
down the line from our original timeline? Here's ours, and of course this timeline is only moving forward because, well, the expansion of infinite number of realities behind it. But what happened was we made this universe sort of out of balance, and our universe,
because of the collider, the super collider.
Yeah, we altered the weight of a single electron, which I believe shifted us into a parallel universe, considering that it caused a chain reaction that could have catastrophically destroyed our universe. Even when we thought, starting it, we thought our universe would implode, and then it didn't, and we're like, oh, it's okay. Well, maybe it did implode. We just instantly got shifted to the universe.
And that's your belief?
Right, in my belief. Of course, this is just a theory, and it's still being developed. Okay. But yeah, maybe that infinitely small moment of time, infinity down the line.
Yeah. I mean, he goes on for hours. You know, he's just fascinating. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna be like, if I was that kid's older brother, I'd be like, "Shut up, nerd!" Just throw him off.
Oh my God, you sheeple. So anyway, any more thoughts on this? Because then I'm going to close them with guys. Well, don't worry. If there's any anxiety, I'm going to help you real quick.
I mean, CERN has already said that the only reason they're starting it up is because they're unnecessary, like, well, not unnecessary. I guess there's a reason for it, but their drive to find proof that dark matter exists. And so, because dark matter, it apparently makes up 68% of our galaxy, the universe, I'm sorry. And they really can't figure it out. They know that the only way they know it's there is that it messes with gravity. That's it. What they believe, actually, getting to your thing, is that dark matter fully exists in a alternate parallel universe called the Hidden Valley. And so there, it's all dark matter, and regular matter and all other stuff is just minuscule, and it's seeping into our universe. And that's how it was created. And this is from CERN.
Wow, seeping in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
interesting.
I mean, I guess seeping in, or they like it's not the same. We get like dark matter here and there. Apparently, humans get dark matter in their actual bodies. They get every year 10 kilograms of dark matter in their bodies.
And it
But
stays there?
yeah,
Okay, well, either way, this is way stranger things. And basically, you have to remember, what would you tell people? Like, you want to get funded, you want as an experiment to keep going. You can't tell everybody everything. If they were aware we got launched into a different thing, at that point, what are you going to do? If you tell people, they're going to panic. Is that helping them? I mean, so in the case of anyone panicking at all right now, let me help you. I, inquisitive mind, awakened, grounded in whatever I research as I am, myself started to freak out today when I read it was in 2008. All of a sudden, everything started making sense. I had to really ground myself because I was like, oh my God. Like, I had a literal vision during 2008 of my future, and my visions always come true, and that didn't. In fact, a whole different thing happened. So I'm like, am I supposed to be, I'm just going to say this in case anyone else is going through it, am I supposed to be with my twin flame? Am I supposed to be with this person? What was supposed to, like, what is going on? For years after 2008, I really felt like, all right, my vision was in a different universe, and this before I knew anything. And how to get there? How do I get there? I'm since past that. However, today, all of a sudden, this is very awakening, and I'm like, oh my God, you know. All right, so for anyone going through this, first and foremost, I'm gonna help you. Number one, always think that you can have a session with me, which is very true, but I'm gonna give you a little bit right now just to pull you through, okay? Either way, we create our reality 100%, either subconsciously or consciously, okay? And on a deep soul level, whatever we are living right now, we have chosen, okay? So remember, our days on this planet are only so many. When we pass on, it is my theory and belief innerly that we go to a higher dimension where we are united with everyone's true selves. In that dimension, we actually can look at all the lives we've lived and parallel realities, etc., and experience any of them at any time. So if you're having a hard life now, which is mostly everybody, because we all seem to sign up to learn things, okay, know that you are getting an extreme benefit from that, no matter how it feels right now. And that if you want to experience a different reality, not only will you when your time comes, however, you can also change your mind at any time here. You can literally create a whole different reality whenever you want, you know, and that is what I specialize in. But this is not a giant advertisement for me. This is to calm you down. Because on many, many levels, everything is fine. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna experience all of what you want, and no worries. I get you're worried. Just know that you chose it. Okay. Know that there's a reason, very high or deep reason, and that if you think there's a better reality that you could be experiencing, not only can you create it here, but I can actually help you access whatever you think it is anyway. So as some of you already know, I am a life coach, a spiritual intuitive, and I am a manifestation expert. So I could help you with all of that. Link in the description box. Please email me if you are interested in talking at all about having a session, or if you'd like to be on the show. But yeah, guys, don't worry. Even I have a human side, as you've all seen many times on this camera. And we're actually having a very human moment all day where I was very perplexed as well. However, I got help from, I feel, higher realms, and I feel this all happened for me to relay to whoever's out there that it's gonna be okay on so many levels, and it already is. Oh, we are running out of time. So we have less than a few minutes left. So how, Tommy, would you like to add anything?
Well, now that Christina has helped you all feel better, I'm here to make you feel worse now.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe I'm fairly certain this thing probably kicked us into all kinds of different dimensions. Who knows? Like, they're not going to tell us, and like we're not going to notice because it's like all of a sudden, like after whatever Tuesday or whatever, I'm like, it's this thing. They're probably just gonna make another black hole, right? And then I look over and it's like, right, Mayor Crocodile, and this giant crocodile with the things like, I don't know, Tom. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm like, you're probably right.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So yeah, guys, just like when you realize you're having a panic attack and it's getting worse by just realizing it, it could be the reverse. Just know it's not going to help to get worse. Calm me down. This is all in control from my mind. In our next podcast of Is Reality Real? You're going to be so feeling in control of everything and so mind blown, mind expanded in a very healthy, amazing way that, trust me, none of this is going to bother you at all. Remember, this is a place for you to feel safe to expand your mind, safe to let your soul go there, and also a place where I help you stay grounded in it so that you're not scared of doing or going there in your mind or anything like that. That is a spot for your soul and a Disneyland for your mind, and we stay grounded, and we have a lot of nice life tips here as well. Be sure to check out our playlist. It really varies, and each one is amazing in its own right. Please don't forget, if you got anything out of this content, to leave in the comments below any of your experiences. I would love to know. Also, if you could like so we could keep putting out content for you, as well as subscribe so that you won't miss any more mind-boggling conversations we're going to be having here, and share so that you could help in the mind-expanding movement and really help each other out as well. That would be amazing. And until next time, guys, God bless and namaste.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching.